Hey, it's Gina at Tarot in Time. I'm here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week ahead of November 29th. Now, this is a big week, and I think it's a big week because November 29th is my birthday. So, so Sagittarius season. Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, which brings us luck and blessings and expansion. Jupiter, Sagittarius is associated with the house of spirituality. So there's a lot about expanding our spiritual practices, expanding our connection with our higher power. But the shadow side of it is that it can be associated with dogma and holding on to old ideas, especially religious ones or spiritual ones about the bigger picture of life. So we want to be paying attention to that kind of stuff right now. So when I look at the chart for the week, I see that there's a lot of Sagittarius energy. We have the sun, which we know. We have Mercury right there at the same degree as the sun. So Mercury wants to express its thoughts and ideas. And Sagittarius wants to just share it with everyone and expand the information out, especially about those matters that we talked about, spirituality, bigger picture, also as foreign travel, foreign ideas, foreign beliefs, all that kind of thing. We also have the south node point right there, about 6 degrees away from the sun and Mercury. And the south node is that cup that holds everything that ever happened to us. It's often considered a past life point. So there's information that's coming up that we're receiving from who knows where. It's coming in from past lives, past experiences in this life. So you may start recalling things from the past, and now is a good time to express it out. Great time to be writing, great time to be sharing and reflecting. We also, let's see, that's the most consolidated energy I'm seeing. We do have a few other aspects going on. So Venus is really getting close to Pluto. This week it's starting off at about 6 degrees apart in the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn in general is associated with old ideas, old beliefs, right? The structure of our life, especially Venus in Capricorn, how our self-care practices, our self-love, being kind of, sometimes Capricorn can be a little intense. So where's the gentleness? And as Venus gets closer and closer, at some point it's going to pass over Pluto. They'll be at the same degree. Now we know Pluto, which rules Scorpio, it likes to burn things to carbon. It wants to change things. So there's some practices, especially your self-care practices, that need to change. Your work habits, how are you being kind to yourself? Or are you just working? So there's something there. There's a transformation that's happening, and we want to use wisdom to allow this to transform. We do not want to be arguing with the ones we love. We want to be creating something new, letting go of the things that don't work, right? And Sagittarius, I always joke about it being a time traveler. It's the arrow shot forward in time, questioning everything. How did I get here? Where am I going? What am I doing? And then with this Venus aspect, it's almost like let's envision glimpses of the future of our relationships, especially love relationships, the future of our own relationship with ourselves, and especially with our work also. Glimpses ahead so we can see what changes need to come in now so we can get what we want later. So that's how I'm looking at Venus conjunct Pluto. Venus is also making a trine with Uranus, so that's kind of going to help us out a little bit because the trine is a very positive aspect. And Uranus wants to change things. It's a lightning bolt change, unexpected. And so there's a need for freedom. Uranus does not want to be contained in any way. It will not be. And so I'm looking at this as that you need to make space for yourself, especially for your creativity and your self-love and self-care practices. You need to make space. So, we're going home and after work and it's dark and we're probably home more now just because of the season. So let's start making literal space in our home and time space for what to do the things that we want to do, right? The creative projects that we want to make. Let's have the area to do it and the time to do it. We have a few other aspects. We have Mars square Jupiter. So Mars wants to take action and Jupiter just wants to expand everything. So don't rush into making big decisions, especially gambling. Be careful. Jupiter is very much associated with gambling, and Mars just wants to take action and place that big bet. Let's not go there. So beware of rash decisions. Jupiter rules foreign travel, all of that. So maybe it's a great time to watch some really great movies. Seeing how other people live, how other people daily life. It's kind of exciting. Or read a great book, especially about other countries. We have Uranus square Saturn. So Uranus is making a few aspects here. So Uranus is definitely the nonconformist, and Saturn rules Capricorn. It's the structure. Tends to like to control things. So you might find you want to pay attention to like that knee-jerk response that you have to society. Maybe about, there's a lot of issues, COVID, masks, all that. Look at your knee-jerk response to things, and then put your attention on establishing your own personal authority, a new way of being, a new structure. And then it can help change the world. So instead of just getting angry right off the bat, let's bring in this creative energy of a new way of being, right? So trying to make the best out of aspects that could be considered negative. Neptune is also trine Mars. So Mars is action. Neptune is very foggy and really creative, but it's a great time for art. So make that space in your house to do the things that you love, right? So Sagittarius energy, we're going to start off the week, Sun in Sag, Moon will be, by Monday morning, the Moon will be in Libra. So Venus sign, right? So Sagittarius, again, wants to expand, wants to enlighten the mind, can jump ahead a lot, so needs to kind of stay grounded in the moment. The relationships are going to be theme beginning of the week, especially the relationship with yourself. Then we're going to move into Scorpio, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Early Friday morning, the Moon will move into Sagittarius. We're heading into the new moon on Saturday, the 4th. So this is time for moon water. So I would be putting it out by like Wednesday, making wishes. And then it's also a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses are said to bring something to us. So our wishes are going to be extra, extra important this time. They can be wishes of traveling too, because Sagittarius is so known for that. Bigger picture, thinking ahead. How do I want things? We're getting so close to the end of the year, right? 2021 being this year of change. In numerology, it's a 5-year. And now 2022 is going to be a 6-year, moving ahead. So we've got big time transformation going on. We want to clean out some old thoughts. We want to start thinking about the bigger picture. Think about the things that we're kind of stuck to, old ideas, old dogma, and how we can transform that, expand our worlds, and then not get caught up in overconsumption, because that's what Sagittarius, unfortunately, we are associated with the wasteland expanding. So it's funny that Thanksgiving falls on this Sagittarius period. So maybe taking a look at our extremes where we're over-consuming, or maybe where we're just like wallowing in our own self-pity, and that's and expands. So let's pay attention to that, clean house, love ourselves more, and have a fabulous week thinking about our wishes and the bigger picture to come. Because before you know it, it's going to be 2022, and before you know it, it's going to be spring. And so what is it that you want to move ahead with this coming year? Okay, so I picked some fun stickers for our piles because Sagittarius is also known for humor and sarcasm, and sometimes just being silly. So pile number 1, let that shiitake go, right? And then we've got this shungite stone, very grounding and clearing, repels negativity. Pile number 2, be the CEO your parents always wanted you to marry, being that powerful, in charge of your life. And then we've got malachite here. Let's see, I had some notes here. What did I say? I said malachite, growth and abundance, enhances intuition. And then pile number 3, it said that amethyst is the best stone for Sagittarius just because it's very calming and grounding and centering. And like I said before, Sagittarius sometimes has a hard time staying in the moment. They're always kind of ahead. So this beautiful amethyst. And then we've got this sticker called Call Me Old Fashioned. So we really want to be looking at what's outdated, especially our spiritual beliefs, all that dogma related stuff. Okay, and I've got this huge smoky quartz here. This is another great one for Sagittarius. It's super grounding. Sagittarius tends to be all up here, right? And so grounding. And it helps transform negative energy into positive. I think this might end up coming home with me. Right? I'm thinking it would do really well right near my bed. Okay, but just in case I don't, it's $39.99 and we have them here. All right, pick your pile. Let's get started. Pile number 1. Let that shiitake go. And we've got this nice piece of shungite. Okay, so we know shungite clears electromagnetic energy, so it's great to have near computers, and they have phone magnets. I think we sell some here. And so it's grounding, it's clearing, right? Because that electromagnetic energy is very erratic. And so this helps with grounding. And you know, Sagittarius, I can say it, I'm one. We can be a little out there and we can get moving quickly and we can jump ahead, right? So let's stay grounded. And then the theme of letting go, right? What doesn't work for us anymore? Okay, let's jump into this reading. So we just came out of that partial lunar eclipse. That lunar eclipse takes something from us. So we're letting things go, letting things be released. And now we're going into this new moon, new Sagittarius moon. We're going to make our wishes. We're going to allow ourselves to receive something from the universe. And I like to ask for something specifically. All right, let's see what you need this week ahead. We're starting off with Temperance, a Sagittarius card. And so this is one of the cards of the year for 2021. It's a Major Arcana 14. Numerology, we'd call that a 5. That's this year, the year of change. So what final changes need to be made? What needs to be let go of? Now, he is quite an angelic creature here. He wants to expand our world. Right? Okay, so let's see what else we've got going on here. Heart of the matter, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Value. She knows her value. She knows her worth. She's a queen of money. It's coming up in the heart position. We've got the Eight of Wands here, supporting the heart. Interesting card from the Relative Tarot deck, which we finally have in stock here. So this is often called the honeymoon card. It's interesting that he looks like some kind of religious figure, and we know Sagittarius is so related to that. And he's kind of navigating this flying, this moving ahead, this expansion. It's kind of a travel indication too. So let's see what we've got coming in on the foundation for you this week ahead. We got the Five of Pentacles coming in at the bottom. Getting grounded, getting clear. What isn't of value to you anymore? What needs to change? It's interesting that her attention's so on herself soothing that she's missing that the key is right there to open that door. So it's almost like her attention needs to be shifted towards all the beauty that's there and letting go of some of this. It's kind of like becomes this default mode. Poor me, worrying about resources. But really, the Queen of Pentacles is in your heart. Behind the scenes, we have the Wheel of Fortune, another Sagittarius card. I haven't looked at any of these cards. I picked them randomly, so it's pretty cool that we've got some Sagittarius references here. The Wheel of Fortune, all these different seasons. All right? All the beauty there and all the seasons. And this is a card of surrender. And it's actually in this deck, it's called the Wheel of the Year. This is the Witch's Tarot. The Wheel of the Year. That's interesting. I don't think I've noticed that before. So the Wheel of the Year. The year is coming to an end. All these different seasons. I love that there's acorns up there in the cup. Acorns, you've heard me talk about, like, that was the Vanderbilt's family insignia, was 3 acorns, I think. And it was of prosperity. So there's a lot of prosperity there. Got the Hermit. This is also from the Witch's Tarot. Look at this really cool Hermit. Right? And he's on the edge of something. There's change. It's very wintry, but his light is shining. His wisdom is coming forth. You have 2 major arcanas behind the scenes, which is pretty interesting. Let's see what we're moving forward to. We have the 10 of Wands. This is one of the cards that was an error in Carrie Paris's Relative Tarot deck. And this is supposed to say 10 of Pentacles, but it says 10 of Wands. And that really looks to me, they just really remind me of like the California Gold Rush. And so 10 of Pentacles is something that would normally take a long time, right? But 10 of Wands is like fast, it's fire. So there's a change here in resources quickly. Something that used to take a while, there's a change. We know that we have that Uranus energy. We have Venus trine Uranus, right? And then we have Uranus square Saturn. So there's changes coming into our structure. Saturn's our long-term success or career, or finances over time. And there's this change coming quickly. There's a surrender, there's an amount of wisdom that's coming, and really the need to pull out of the poor me. If it's adjusted a little bit, you can see all the opportunities that are there. It just needs to be navigated. And then we have the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands traditionally looks like somebody like looking off into the future, right? But this is the Wizard's Tarot. And he almost looks a little bored. He looks like he's got all these potions and stuff on his desk. Just kind of waiting for the magic to happen. But really the magic is happening. It's just there's this impatience. And I'll tell you, Sagittarius is definitely impatient, right? Okay, I'm going to pull a few more cards here. Roll some dice. Let's see which decks I want to work with. Good old Dark Mansion. I love it. All right, anything else you need to know this week ahead? Yes, the Death card, but it's such a cool one. And the Hierophant. Okay, so this is the Death card. Look at, he looks bored too. There's this boredom. He's like kind of tired of his day job. Two bored people here. So there's a little bit of I don't know, feeling sorry for yourself, and then just some boredom there. But then here's the Hierophant, and this is the other card of the year. So you got both cards of the year, because they both equal 5. Temperance, Sagittarius, Hierophant, Sagittarius. Higher learning, spirituality, the bigger picture. There's more keys down here, which is interesting. Expansion of your world, and there needs to be some changes. There needs to be like a power shift here. I can see a change of finances happening quickly, and also just your viewpoint of how you look at it needs to change. The poor me, believe me, we're all guilty of it. It's so easy to default back into it, but it's saying here that it's time to change that. Let's see what we got. We've got Uranus in Capricorn in the 8th house. Okay, so Uranus again, that lightning bolt. It could change. No, you can have it can be negative, or you can envision it being positive. You can envision it being this insight. And especially with Venus trine Uranus. So Venus really has a lot to do with our finances. And so then we have it in the sign of Capricorn, work, long-term success, Saturn, and 8th house is Scorpio's house. And Scorpio actually rules other people's money. So I see a change coming. Like, it's almost like you could receive a check in the mail from like an inheritance. so let's see what else we have going on here. What did I want to talk about? I want to talk about shungite. I actually went to a shungite room recently. There's one in Connecticut in Ridgefield at the Angel Cooperative. It's a pretty cool place. And I had a reading there, which was really wonderful. And the shungite was so calming. So I think that this is a great stone. If you get a chance to experience a shungite room, it's really, I started to feel it. I felt calm while I was there. And then after I left, I was like, I think I really feel a difference from being in there. So very powerful. Okay. Oh, I don't have my letters here today. I'm sorry. But I am going to pull just two more cards for you and see if there's anything else for you this week that you need to know about. We have the Justice card and the Tower. Interesting. So like the 4 additional cards picked were all majors. Justice, Venus, this is the Libra card, finding the balance. It's card number 16, the Tower. Change, but she's the one making the change. She is not a victim to the change. She's created it herself. So everything written all over this is change, expansion, pulling out of the poor me, pulling out of the boredom, and envisioning things changing like this. This is the season. Make your wishes, get your moon water out. Have a great week. Pile number 2. Be the CEO your parents always wanted you to marry. Yeah. All right. You can be it all. You don't really need someone. Someone else is an added blessing and bonus, but you are the powerhouse. Got malachite here, this beautiful green stone known for growth, abundance, and it enhances intuition. All right, week ahead. What do you need to know? Let's get started. We've got the 9 of Cups. How does it feel? Okay. 9 of Cups here. Light Seer's deck. Look at all that joy. Look at that treasure chest full. So 9, I think of as the highest point. Minor Arcana, minor secrets of life. So much joy, so much love. The heart's so full. Here's the Devil card coming up in the heart of the matter. Look at her. Wow. Okay, so we're talking about being the CEO your parents always wanted you to marry. There's an abundant treasure chest starting us off. So not needing to, not needing somebody else's money. You have your own power. You can provide for yourself. Here's the Devil. Devil kind of got this enslavement here. And she's really just being her badass self there. But the Devil's big business in tarot because it's ruled by Saturn. And then this treasure chest is implicating Saturn also. And Saturn is long-term success over time. It's big business. And a lot of people think of Saturn as like a really heavy planet that causes restrictions. But when we learn to work with it over time, it brings success. So there's something here like the Devil, this energy, you think of it as like, I think George Corey said to me one time, the Devil is just a pulsating energy field of where we throw all of our blame, all of our fear, all of the unknown. And so it's coming up here in the heart of the matter, kind of just showing up, not being afraid, not being a slave, working through some guilt and shame, releasing, feeling joy. Supporting the heart of the matter is the 6 of Swords, getting ready to move on. 2022 is actually going to be a 6 year. There's going to be some more forward movement. Wouldn't that be nice? Foundation card, you have the 5 of Pentacles, which is interesting because I think the 5 of Pentacles came up as the foundation card of pile number 1. This idea of lack, everything's cold, snowy, and yet there's these pentacles blooming. There's still something there. So there's some value there. Don't overlook it. Behind the scenes, you've got the Page of Swords. It's young energy, air, the mind, picking up this sword, ready to make some changes. There's a 10 of Swords. Overwhelmment. Some exhaustion going on there. All right, so it's coming up in the background. Just overworking, overdoing, exhaustion. We've got the Page of Swords again, so it's coming in across with the Devil in the middle, and both sides we have these two versions of the Page of Swords. So he's ready. He's going to be a little bit more protective of himself because he knows, working all the time, it seems like there's a lot of extremes. It seems like, yeah, there's a lot of joy, like being the CEO, right? You make great money and you have all this great stuff, but you got to work, and there's a lot of overwhelmment there, a lot of exhaustion, and almost like this idea of there never being enough. There's the Ten of Pentacles. Interesting, because this card came up in the first pile too, which is interesting. There's a theme here. Ten of Pentacles. This card reminds me, because this is the relative tarot, this reminds me of like the California gold rush. And so there's a change of financial status. There's some kind of change going on here. There's some things that you have to say no to. You need better boundaries. You can't be enslaved to your work. There's some kind of moving on, and there's some idea that there's never seems to be enough, but yet there's so much. So getting clear on what it is that you want, because you can't keep working at this level. Pull a few more cards here. The Hanged Man, the Tower, the Page of Swords again, and the Knight of Cups. Here's another version of the Page of Swords. He's come up 3 times. So I would encourage you to look up about the Page of Swords and what it represents. Young air energy, right? It would be like Gemini or Aquarius or Libra. And this time he looks like he's going to hit it out of the ballpark, right? But the Hanged Man, the Divine Delay card, wants you to, it's like the universe got you by the foot. It wants you to do some resting, some recharging. It's important for your health. There seems like it's been a lot of work. It's a Tower, which is interesting how that lid is just lifting open. There's some changes. We know that Uranus energy is going on. Let me look back at my cheat sheet here. Well, we know Venus is trine Uranus, but Uranus is square Saturn. So Uranus wants to bring change. It's this lightning bolt. And then Saturn, which we've seen all this Saturn implications with this treasure chest, because that's what I think of Saturn over time. The Devil, which is ruled by Saturn, big business. And so there's a change that needs to come, and it has to, and your health is involved. And I'm not saying there's like anything major. I'm just saying like you gotta take better care of yourself. There's the Knight of Cups, kind of a romantic, offering you this cup of satisfaction. There's a new way to do it. All right, let's roll the dice and see what we have. I thought you were gonna get Saturn, but you didn't. You got Venus and Taurus. And 3rd house. Okay, so Venus, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus is love, self-love, jewelry, wallets, all those beautiful things, the finer things. And Taurus, they both very much involve in money or things you value. Taurus wants you to get grounded. Taurus loves nothing more than a great meal and beautiful things, right? And 3rd house is Gemini's house, which those Page of Swords was saying to us too. There almost has to be like this, there's just more love, more gentleness, more appreciating the things that you have, and a little bit less of like just wanting more, because there's already so much. So take count of what it is that's all around you and the powerhouse that you've become. I see better and better changes coming in. So I just want to pull a couple more cards just in case I missed anything. Sorry, I don't have letters here. I'm gonna get more. Okay, I've got the 9 of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so the 9 of Wands, he's not alone, he's got backup. You can't do it all on your own. You need to ask for help. It's the Knight of Wands. He's a bad boy who just wants to go and have fun. And the Queen of Cups, it's pouring some things out that do not work. There's some emotions that are not working. So I want you to take it a little slower. Make your list of your new moon wishes and what you want your bigger picture of your life to look like. And please take count of all the things that you have to be grateful for. Have a great week. Pile number 3, call me old-fashioned. I was thinking of this as like Saturn Capricorn, because Capricorn loves antiques and outdated things, old things, right? And kind of resistant to change sometimes. So call me old-fashioned. And then we have this amethyst mixed with it. And I use my pendulum to pick these things, so it's kind of cool what wanted to go together. This amethyst, which is such a, so clearing. I feel like it's just such a gentle, kind of loving kind of crystal. And then let me just look at my cheat sheet here. I have amethyst. I wrote radiates peace. Radiates peace. So there's these changes that need to be made, but there's in a peaceful way. Okay, let's see what we got going on for this week ahead. Boy, I am just loving this smoky quartz here. So calming and grounding, transforming negative into positive. All right, what do you need to know this week ahead? Starting us off, so randomly picked cards. I have not looked at any of them. King of Pentacles. Oh, speaking of Capricorn, he would be a Capricorn king, right? I love his blue jeans though, blue jean king. Looks a little more like modernized king. So he's willing to make some changes. He's willing to chill out and relax a little bit. He's got his beautiful wolf next to him. There's a lot of joy. Going on the heart of the matter. You got the Knight of Cups, questing for emotion, satisfaction. The 7 of Swords here, kind of sneaking ahead, leaving 2 swords behind. Some kind of relationship that isn't working. Taking 5 swords with him, making a change. And we're talking about change. Call me old-fashioned. What needs to change? What needs to be updated? See what the foundation card here is. What do we got? Which one does it want to be? Okay. Judgment, Major Arcana, number 20. It's also a 2. So we have a 2 come up here with the 7 of Swords, something being left behind. Judgment is about relationships and what needs to change. This is Scorpio. It rules death and rebirth. This is like like they're being risen up to heaven. And so there's a change. There's something, especially, I don't know, I feel like it has to do with like your love relationships. Like there's a romanticness going on in the heart. There's something here as far as, I see it's like a relationship. They almost look like brides. There's something changing there. Let's see what's going on in the background. We got the 10 of Cups, the happy family card. 10 is the highest point in the minor arcanas. I often say it's 9 because 10 I see it as like changing into a 1. So there's a shift there of dynamics. There's the 9 of Wands. So 10 and a 9, so there's a lot. And we're moving into the King of Cups, our second king that showed up. I placed him next to the Knight of Cups, so he's like a mature version of that Knight of Cups. There's a maturity. King of Cups is often considered a therapist. So maybe this is time to help transform, to get rid of some of these old ways, especially thinking about the family unit and how it's supposed to be, or women's role in it. The Magician. I think of him as Scorpio. He's got the power to create. He's got all the elements, whatever he needs. And it's interesting because the 10 of Cups I was saying is like a 1, and then the 1 of Cups in the majors is the Magician. So there's a shift here, and now the magic is here in your hands to make it change. I hate to tell you to go to therapy, but I'm going to tell you to go to therapy. If you're not already, like, this is a great time to get rid of some of that old stuff that isn't working, some of these outdated ideas that were handed down to you about maybe how a family unit's supposed to work or how friendships are supposed to work. There's a softness coming in, something more loving, lighter, and peaceful, because we said amethyst radiates peace. We've got an extra card in here I didn't mean to pull. We got the 7 of Cups. And even though I know that looks like a mushroom, but that's the High Priestess under there. And so she's kind of hiding. So you don't want to be hiding your power, right? Seven of Cups, spiritual path. I'm gonna pull a couple more to see if we missed anything. You did get 2 sevens. The Nine of Cups. The Three of Swords. And the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so there's 9 of Cups here. There's a lot of cups going on, a lot of emotions. Time to start expressing those. There's a Three of Swords. Papers flying everywhere. Lightning bolt. We know Uranus energy is active. It's Saturn breaking apart the old structures. So all these old bookkeeping is being like kind of the wind's blowing it all over the place, right? So there's kind of a change of order here. And then the Ten of Pentacles, there's definitely plenty, but it's shifting. Okay, I'm gonna pull 2 more cards because I just feel like there might be something that I'm missing, and then I'm gonna roll some dice. 4 of Wands, Page of Cups. Okay. So, okay, let's just see what these come out at. North Node, Aquarius, 7th house. Okay, so the 4 of Wands is like a celebration here, so much joy. And then the Page of Cups is like, I often think of the Page of Cups as a reminder to have fun, like not being so serious. And then the North Node is like why you came here, right? Why you came to the planet. It's in Aquarius, which is very forward-thinking and non-conformist. It's that Uranus energy, and we saw Uranus was, it's perfect actually, because Uranus is square Saturn, and I was thinking of this Call Me Old-Fashioned sticker as so Saturn, and then the King of Pentacles, a Saturn king, showed up first. So there's this fresh, like genius, cutting edge, modern energy coming in, and it's the 7th house, which is the house of relationships. So there's something changing here. Big change. It's like, here's that lightning bolt, breaking things apart. The way the systems of order that used to work, they're changing. They've been outgrown. That's what I keep getting. They've been outgrown. And there's something here. Get into therapy, talk it out. Don't give away your power anymore. There's a lot of joy here. There's more fun to be had. And let's see, I'll pull 2 more. And we've got the Knight of Wands and the 6 of Wands. So you're definitely going to be triumphant at this. There's a lot of fun to be had. There's more of a lightness and kind of like, almost like just success vibes, real success vibes. So this week, just look at questioning what needs to change, because we're in Sagittarius and wants to expand. So we don't want to expand all the old crap. We want to expand great stuff. So good time to clean up, purging some of this old emotion, making the changes that need to be made, and being that change. So thank you for joining me. Have a great week.